Alright, we're back here. I think I was waiting for something. Looks like I got higher smelting. Chips. I don't have chips. Need gold for that. So I'll probably wait on gold to smelt through there. Ah, there we go. Alright, I think I want to go ahead and do 2 of these. One for the filtration, one for this grow light. I'm going to automate. I've kind of been thinking, been doing roughly hour-long videos with minimal cutting in there. I just don't know how to do the video editing and stuff like that. So I've been basically doing, real-time long cuts here. I'm thinking I might try to condense it down, but to do that, I'll have to, learn how to do all the editing and make it so it's not just a choppy transition. So that might be kind of the style I move to. I don't know if people would rather see that. I myself personally, I usually watch a lot of YouTube while I'm at work. Actually, on on the second monitor, or third monitor, or whatever. Just to have background noise and kind of. I mean, still pay attention to, but mainly while I'm working, so I can do multiple things at once. So, I mean, that's kind of how I watch YouTube. I don't know if that's how other people are, pretty much watch it as well. If so, that wouldn't really, affect them any. But for the people that want to watch a shorter video, it would probably get more people interested in it. And, I'm not really trying to drive up this, views on here or anything. I'm basically would just rather have, something that the people that are watching would enjoy. Oh, I didn't make any filters. Oxygen. Oh. 62. How about 64? Eventually, I'm going to have to let all this out of here. I'm trying to go easy on it because if you look at that temperature is getting high. That temperature is going to get even higher once I get these plants growing. I don't have a good way to cool down yet. I'm going to do a phase change setup out there. That's actually going to be the next thing after I get these crops going. But it's not going to make it quite in time, I don't think. I think I'm going to, have to do different form of cooling, which is going to turn out to be, this is 15 degrees Celsius water. That's still 70 liters. Water has a very high specific heat, so I'll slap some radiators on here, and at 40 degrees, maybe I'll make that a goal at, like, if I hit 45 degrees, because that's going to be a pretty much a danger spot. I'll go ahead and run some pipe vertical here and put 1 or 2 liquid radiators on it, and that'll bring the temperature of the room back down to a manageable level. However, that's going to be a one-time thing, and so I'm going to want to make sure that I have my phase change set up built by then and have it so that it's have it so that it's cooling down, because it's not going to be immediately ready. I'm going to have, yeah, it's just going to take probably, I don't know, a day or so in game for that to all cool down. Just gonna pick this back up since I'm not using it. Slap it on there. Okay. I want to go ahead and get that programmed. I've got grow light housing. I want to edit it. That's not what I want. So I think I did this in one of the cuts that didn't go through, possibly. The script, I'm going to use one off the workshop here. I'm going to do a small edit to it. This is Thriving Plants version 2 here. I can, actually, that would probably be a good idea. Well, never mind. I disabled the overlay for Steam in here to try to prevent game crashes, so I don't have it enabled, so I can just pull up the workshop window there. But this is what the code's doing. It expects to have a dial on and off, and then I can't remember. I don't think the display's ever actually. Yeah, it's not used in here, so that's just something that they should remove from their system. But anyway, that's how it is available on the workshop. I'm not going to use a dial. The dials are great for this because you can change those at any point and it's not going to interrupt your light cycle. The way I'm going to hard code it in here, it will interrupt the light cycle. So if it were to just turn night and I go, oh, I don't want this at 10 and 5 for, switchgrass and soybeans, and I wanted it, was it 5 and 4 or whatever for potatoes, to give them the optimal grow light, then it would immediately go to the light cycle. So even if the light just turned off, and then so they'd have a double period of light. With the dials, you set the dial, and then it just picks up the next time that cycle would change, and then it's using sleeps here. So that's also why I have this on a separate chip. But because it's utilizing sleeps in this way, it works really well with these dials. So if you're grabbing the script off there, I would recommend just going ahead and leaving them in there. I, however, do not want to have to wire up dials for this. I'm a little bit strapped for room in here. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these lines, but so because I'm strapped for room, and I'm going to show you where they would go anyway in here. Yeah, I'm just going to hard code it in here, and that's as simple as setting those to a register instead of the inputs, and then I'm going to I'm just going to do a simple move here. That's going to be dial on. I'm setting to 10 minutes. Dial off. I'm setting to 5. So that's going to be what I pull this up to. If I pull up switchgrass here, it's 10 and 5. So that's going to be what I'm going to be making charcoal and steel with going forward, as well as using extra of that into compost to get volatiles when I actually need them. As long as I'm doing steel the way I just did, I won't need that, but I still will eventually need volatiles because if I get enough oxygen production and I don't have to worry about oxygen, then I can use that to make more water, which water would be very easy to cool down in this environment with these temperatures, because it would come out of there at 2,000 degrees. It would immediately cool down just passively with a a radiator to the outside to, 320 or so. And then from there, I could use a phase change. And I mean, I could basically kick it down to any temperature I want. It's fairly, in the range. I think it's sensitive enough that actually, let's look at that. The phase change here. So yeah, so it even at the outside temperature doesn't get this hot. So I would always be able to condense water in this atmosphere and at this temperature outside, just having a phase change with a radiator. It would keep it into something I could use a phase change condenser to do. But if you look down here, if I wanted it to come out at 15 degrees like that bottle, I could set it at 10 kPa, which is that's pretty low. I don't know if it could go down that much in one step on its own. I am planning on having, for my cooling system, I'm going to have this set to, I'd have to check my notes to have it exactly what I'd set it at. Let's see, my notes, I say 182, which would put it at 140. I can switch back to the right screen. So at 140 degrees, 182 is, close enough. I could do 183, whatever. It's not that important. That's just a matter of picking a spot there that the next phase change will be able to pick up, and I'll be using pollutant for the next one. So it's going to cool down the steam from there, and it's going to get it to 140 or so. If you look on here, 140 is just inside the condensation range for pollutant, and so that's not a big deal. But I can get it down to, if I wanted to, I could put it down to about, which I tried this, and just for fun, I was able to basically instantly freeze the safe room here. But I'm going to have it set for, the typical that probably everybody that's used phase change devices for cooling and pollutants knows, this 3570. It's going to drop it down to 20 degrees. It's going to be great. Which I could even go to 25, make it a little bit better for plants. I think 20 is the low end for some of the plants, but that's very easy to change. I would just have to take the evaporation chamber and take the evaporation chamber and set that on, whatever pressure this is. And when it releases at that pressure, then that output is going to be that temperature, as long as it has enough, cooling range in there to do it. So, it's a pretty simple setup on this planet, those temperatures. So it'll be, it's going to work well. Now I'm just going to move dial on into there, and that's where my tin is. I could just do these directly in here, but just to keep as much as their existing code there as I can. Okay, and so that's all I'm going to do for this. That gives me the timer that I want, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm never going to change it. It'll be perfect for soybeans and switchgrass. It's going to be too much for the potatoes, but I'm going to do 2 grow plots of potatoes, and that's going to be more than I'll need there. So let me go ahead and export that. And I'm going to, now you're in my way. oxygen. Okay. Yeah. Oh, my switchgrass seed. What's the next one? Potatoes. And ferns. So I did put them in order that I wanted them to be. And that should leave soybeans in there. Yeah. Because I'm not going to use soybeans for all. Although that's the only thing left in there. I might as well pull them out. Those won't be used for a while. Okay. I'll go ahead and kick that on. That's going to be making my oxygen because I've got way too much CO2 in here right now. I'm going to do 4 of these. That's going to leave me 1 in case I seriously screw up. And then 2 potatoes. And that's good. So now I've got my actual farm. That should, the room will heat up from having the additional plants in here. I don't know how much it heats up from those, but with the grow light too. That grow light, by the way, is 70 watts. A regular light, like this guy over here, that's 5 watts. And that's 70 watts. Really? I mean, it's a little bit silly, but it is what it is, I guess. Those are fluorescent bulbs, though, so that's supposed to be an LED, so that would, make somewhat sense, but 3 of those are there. That would actually be something like probably 200 watts. I can't remember. Fluorescent bulbs have been kind of like, I don't know if they're illegal, but they're very, very difficult to find, if you can even find them anymore. I'm going to go ahead and eat. Go ahead and drink up again. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill this guy up. I think the next thing I do to go ahead and finish up this food thing so that when those potatoes start cooking or start, being ready for harvest, I have something to do with them. The cheaty way out of it is honestly what I'm probably going to do. And that's by using an automated oven. Once you check those in there, they're not going to spoil. That way I don't have to mess with the refrigerator before I have any kind of cooling. Even after I have the cooling, I'm not going to have it really cold enough to prevent the decay. So unless I do an additional phase on there, which would be 100 watts to keep that cold, which doesn't make any sense. I'll just keep them in there and I'll print out a baked potato each time I need one. I'll just keep it down here in this room. It'll last for like a few hours in this room, and that'll be plenty. Now, before I put that on, how bad is this get now? Yeah, I'm down to 22%. Oh, yeah. So that tank's still got quite a bit of oxygen in there. Hey, and the room cooled down a bit from that leaking out into to keep this at pressure, so that's good. Oh yeah, I even just filled that up while I'm in here, and before I put on that kit, I'm gonna clear that. I'm gonna go with filtration. So this is just a basic script that I do for my filtration. This one has it set up so I've got some safeties on there. So the max pressure, I'm not going to fill up a regular tank more than 6,500. I'll switch it to 17 500 when I switched to the smart tank. Minimum O2 for the room. I actually want higher. I'd like it to be 30, but that's not going to help me in here. We'll see if I can get down to, well, I'll leave it at 30, and then I'll pump more O2 into the room before I use this. The minimum room pressure for the room is, I've got set for 50, so we'll never go below that. The plants like it to be at least 45. 50 is supposed to be like the low end of that range. So that's just some checks that I put in there, and then it just goes through and it checks the input pressure, the output pressure, the oxygen ratio. You can also do the temperature if you're, depending on what you're doing, check that it doesn't have liquids in it, doesn't have pollutants, that type of stuff. But this is just something I've been using for a long time, so I just change it out to different things, and I don't always just use it to fill the canisters, but it's a good script. It hasn't let me down. It hasn't blown up anything. Now that I got that in there, and then now technically I could just leave this on and it's going to go idle because it's going to have actually it's going to hit that check because I still don't have 30% in here. But I don't know if that throws off any heat. I'll go ahead and leave it off for now. But yeah, oxygen critical. There's that. Let's go ahead and get that automated oven going. I'm tight on a room, as I've complained about before, but I think that's in here. Oven? Is it not in there? Is it in here? Is that a tier 2? It is a tier 2. Well, I will not be doing that automated oven. Instead, I will be doing grabbing some iron, grabbing some, that's not much copper. That's still not much copper. I'll do a table. I'll do, now I'm gonna have to go back to the electrics. Microwave. And yeah, I would definitely like to expand that safe room out one more row back there, moving those lockers and stuff against that back wall, and then I can have my my food preparation stuff in there. I'll have the automatic oven, the packing tool. I probably won't ever need here, to be honest. I could do canned French fries. But I'll use the soybeans and I'll make, regular French fries in the oven. And that's going to get me the highest food bonus. So I don't really need to go any higher than that. And I had to run, that's how I ran the power cable, going over there to that hot box. That might complicate things. Oh no, I can still press that there. There's actually different styles of power benches now that I haven't Okay, so this one doesn't have any powers. Huh. Yeah, I saw that this one existed now, but I hadn't used it. So I may just set this one up in here. It's kind of floaty. I don't know where that's going to position itself. So I probably ought to figure out how I'm going to get the power to this. I need to have power come up. Okay, so that one's... That's a standard one. I scrolled the wrong way earlier. There's a workbench. Oh, okay. Well, let's see where I can get the power up to. I could probably just run it from here and go up that corner. That wasn't what I meant to do. I think that's an elevation one. I'm not sure I like that one. Let's go with the workbench style one. That's pretty simple. I don't know. Okay, I've got power there. I'll just set this down and I'll eventually need a table to do the reagent processing to make the soybean oil. So I'm not going to be out that, minimal amount of iron and copper there. So it's all good. It's not high enough pressure to get rid of that pollutant. All right. Does this look goofy from down here? Not too bad. I could always do... Oh crap, that's what I forgot to do. There was a storm and I didn't fix my solar panels. I need to get out here and do that real quick. Oh no, 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 no. That's unfortunate. I lost 2 solar panels. I don't know why those ones got destroyed and the other ones didn't, but it's definitely inconvenient. I mean, it's just gold. I've got plenty of gold and plenty of both gold and what do I need to take this down? A grinder? don't know what that stuff would get me anyway, even if I did. Well, since I got to make 2 more, I now have the capacity to do chips. Should I go ahead and do solar tracking on there? Just have 6 solar tracking panels. It'd be real easy to set up. I would have to shift all these so that they have the cables all wired the same way. I could still move. Actually, I've still got 4 of them. I could still put 1, 2, 3, 4. I could put those on the sides and then have the tracking ones up top. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go with the basic ones. I actually, yeah, I can't be wasting time on that. Something I will waste time on. That's not supposed to be on. I don't know what that'll give me. I kind of want to see. Copper gold. I'll save that for later for because I will eventually have a. I'm gonna have Amy going probably, but I'll also do a deep miner. I'm used to doing a deep miner setup, so I'll have that over there. It won't get me the gases, but you know, by that time I'll probably be abusing the trader. So if I continue on this, okay, I want to get 2 more basic panels real quick. Yeah, plenty to do that with. So I've got the food stuff. Don't you come back down here. Yeah, I need to get working on that cooling solution there. I know steel is cheaper. However, it's a lot more difficult to do right now still. So I'm going to do a bunch of iron. I'm going to do, a bunch of iron frames and I'll do walls on the pieces I don't have to mount anything to. They'll save me just a little bit. I think it'll end up being 5 iron for a single welded frame. And then it's, 1 iron for a wall to just use as a catwalk. So I'm going to get these out here, turn this off. I'm just going to be going in and out of here a couple times. Definitely feeling a lot more relaxed though now, so that's really good. I've got my steel. My time crunch is now all about getting that cooling going, but I know what I need to do. There's not going to be any gotchas. That's still $8.95. That's not bad. That should be charging. Okay, iron. I want 6 frames. I do have 1 iron sheet there. Got 2 iron walls. Oh. What the heck? Okay. That's a wall. That's a frame. That's a frame. 6 frames. And I want like I don't know. Just crank out the walls. They're cheap enough. I've got plenty of iron, maybe 20 of them. The iron walls you cannot fall through. Like you can walk over them just fine. The steel ones you have to put, you know, a sheet of either steel or plastic on it to make it so you don't fall through it. So I still like to use those iron walls even in the late game. Especially considering I usually do Vulcan where, you know, you have the big crevices and stuff. So I usually build out a great big patio area workspace, which, I mean, I'm going to do here so you'll see it. I want to do... That was 20 or 10 apiece. So... Well, I want 4, and I can do 4 with the amount of steel I have in there, so let's do it. I think I need 2 steel sheets. No, 4 steel sheets each. So I'm going to use all of that steel. I'm going to have 32 steel left. That solder rolls there every time, and every time I have to fight to get it out of there. No, I want it right here because I want some sheets. Of course, I only need 16 sheets. Is that right? Yeah. Ooh, these do not stack. Why do you hate me? Don't need glass. Don't need a labeler. I'll use that pipe to get things lined up. I could drop the insulated the pipe insulation for now, but actually I think I got a spot in there for there. So. I need to do okay, so that's all those. I need I'll be real close on steel, I think. Okay, I need iron sheets. I need 5 more of these. Okay. See, I've got 15. So I can just use regular ones and save steel that way. Yeah. Because I think I determined last time that insulated pipes take 1 steel. Adhesive takes a half a steel. So I'd be using more iron because I'd have to have the pipe to convert it. But yeah. I'll use more iron, but I'll use less steel. So that's what I'll do. Poorly. Yeah, those potatoes have too much. Actually, the temperature is a little bit high for them too. What can I do? I can release more oxygen in here, which I actually need to. Okay, what's this gonna do? I think I have to still change that coding. It's so close to there. Alright, let's crank this up a bit more to get the... Yeah. Because it's not just about filling up that tank. I want to... That's a lower. I need to have that light on. Let's take this up to 70. I'm trying to milk that temperature for all I can in here. Okay, that's 30%. That should start running now. See, it's active. It's going to switch between active and idle until it, So it'll never suck, the oxygen out so that it's dangerous in here. I'm not sure where that pollutant came from. No, I'm not sure. I shouldn't have had any on me at all. And then now I'll print out another gas canister when I go back out there. And I'll just leave one in here so it'll always be full. Yeah, that temperature dropped just a few degrees. Now it's moderately low. Still poorly. This one's going to be over on the light. The ferns are going to be over on the light by just a little bit. But these things here, if I had the plant analyzer, just having that set like it is, those things will be like, they should be end up growing way faster than they would normally be, because it's going to be such an optimal lighting for them. I'm going to go ahead and grab that out of there though.
Oxygen low.
Now it's just going to be, when I leave that going, it's going to be pressurizing that pipe. See, that'll get to my pressure there, and that's going to go idle. And so that's actually going to be a little pre-charged bit of it. I don't think this is going to, the idle power for this is almost nothing. So I don't think it's going to heat up the room any. but could be famous last words. Okay, what's my battery like? Go ahead and swap that out. And let's go ahead and do a canister out of here. I know I've got steel, I could do a smart canister, but I don't have the oxygen capacity anyway to utilize it. So that's not all that important to me. Have to be cool and spray paint it. My first of many spray paint colors I'll be using. Okay. I don't know how to do the thing that where you can just paint it in your hand. I know there's a way to do it. I've seen plenty of people do that, and I read something in Patch Notes a while back about it, I think, but dude, I don't. Okay. Just gonna use type 1 because it doesn't matter. My walkway. And I was gonna do, I'll replace these later anyway. I don't think I printed enough of them. I wanted to leave 2 rows here before I ran the stuff, so I could expand that out. Okay, that's gonna be my steel ones or my iron ones in there. Yeah, I could have done with a few more of these. But that'll be fine. You know, that'll make me spend more steel for the insulated pipe to go from here into here, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'll probably have to do another batch of steel here, but I think that's okay. I swapped out the battery in my suit, but I didn't do my welding. Because of course I didn't. Alright, now we're going to do I want to see I want to use as little water as possible when I do this. So I'm going to try to I'm going to try to do this so that, see, I want the evaporation chamber on this side. But I'm going to try to do this so I only have one pipe in between the condensation and evaporation on this side. I can still do a little direct heat exchanger in between them, I think. Yeah, I should be able to. But I can't do the big cross flow that I'll eventually do on the other one. I didn't bring anything out here to space those. But I did do these the right way, didn't I? I did. Just need a tool in my hand. Evaporation, condensation. Yeah. Okay. I did it right. Okay, and then this is going to go evaporation to condensation on this side. Yeah. So we'll be taking. I might end up having to swap this out for a frame later on, but that's going to be after I have NVAR, so I can and tier 2 everything, so I can do the cross flow, which the cross flow is you need 3 pipe lengths worth for it. So that's why you make this 5, because the top has to come down, has to be a 90 and a 90 to get it down to just the next spacing above this one. Now if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should be, so this will be my pollutants, this will be my water. And I guess I can go ahead and weld them up, and then I'll go ahead and end this episode here. I'm actually off all week this week, so I'll probably have quite a few more. Well, I'll have at least this set of videos done. After I get the cooling set up, I'm kind of at a, I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that point, because I'm not going to have an emergency need. I'm not going to have anything that needs to be done. It's going to be, plenty of time. So I'll just have to, decide what I want to do at that point. That's going to be tight for wiring, but it's still going to fit across there. I wanted to try to get this, especially compact with these ones here. But I've usually left, a full... I'm just trying to think the way that cross flow goes. If it's going to be extending to this side, or if it extends to this side. I can't remember, because it has to flow a certain way. And I just don't remember which way it is unless I had the object here to put it down. So it might be that I have to move these up a frame so that it would sit back here on the frame here without interfering with these wires, or if it's going to come out this way, and in which case I would have to make this into a frame instead of a wall. But yeah, anyway, I'll figure that out. I'll do 2 more walls there, and then yeah, that's a good spot to end it for today, though. I've got the farms going. The cooling is the primary concern now. So, piece of cake. Assuming I've got enough water, that is. But that'll be it for today.